haven't got your COVID-19 vaccine,
yep. Haven't
if
you
you're
said
a
it like
pothead,
you said it's like it's pending.
because some people are still waiting. Not everybody can get them. If you're trying to get it, you know.
I hear private school teachers are next in line.
Yeah, I don't know who's next in line, but if you haven't got it and you're looking to get one, and you like to smoke weed and you're a pothead, then I guess
You're in luck.
yeah, I guess you're in luck, because cannabis activists in Washington, D.C. are actually going to be giving you a bag of free marijuana to get your COVID vaccine.
And they say a bag, but what are we talking? Are we talking a dime, a QP, an ounce? Like, what's a bag? You didn't specify.
That's funny. All right, so cannabis activists in Washington, D.C. are planning to offer a free bag of marijuana to those receiving the vaccine for COVID-19. The group DC Marijuana Justice announced this week the free cannabis giveaway dubbed Joints for Jabs.
So you probably just got to bring in your proof of vaccination and like your little card that you get and just like, yeah, I got mine. Here's my ID, you know, and they're like, all right, here's your little bag.
It might be at the same time.
So it's like walking out when you donate blood, how they give you a juice box and a bag of chips or some cookies.
Yeah.
You just walk out, you get your juice box in a little dime bag.
I guess.
With some zigzags.
Yeah, zigzags, give you some roll-ups. I don't know. But anyway, the free cannabis giveaway dubbed Joints for Jabs is being arranged to coincide with vaccine clinics expected to open in the nation's capital soon. DCMJ wrote in a press release on Monday, with Joints for Jabs, the DCMJ activists hope to highlight the need for further cannabis policy reform at the national and local level. So this is where we're trying to, excuse me. So this is where we're going to see a little bit of the cannabis industry starting to really make it known that they're getting in quote unquote bed with the government. They're trying to relax those restrictions. This is how stuff like this is exactly how Facebook gets involved into the government.
Right.
Like, you know, or like it's always like starts off as an industry or some kind of clear cut business.
Right.
And then you start to cater to the government, or you start to,
And I was
going to
say that it kind of, it's kind of unusual for a place of location. You know, typically they would say that California or Colorado is like the weed capital, but it's weird that it's starting in our nation's capital of all places for them to distribute marijuana for COVID-related, you know, vaccines, for instance. And it's just, I find it unusual to start of all locations versus.
Well, they are. I mean, they
elsewhere.
are trying to roll it out, and it says here that the dozens of home cannabis cultivators will celebrate the occasion by handing out free bags of marijuana outside vaccination centers. So
they're just going to be posted. They're going to have like a tent basically posted up, and you just come in with your card.
Or like you said, you get your juice box in your baggie.
Yeah, like
you pat on the butt.
Yeah, like all right.
Yeah, so
Appreciate your part.
I guess so. They're going to be handing out free bags of weed. Locations and times of the Joints for Jabs giveaway will be announced after the DCMJ has more information about local vaccination sites. We're looking ways to safely celebrate the end of a pandemic. Excuse me. And we know nothing brings people together like weed or cannabis.
I mean,
the group's co-founder, DCMJ, believes that cannabis should be consumed safely and responsibly, and the pandemic has made this incredibly difficult for many adults to share their homegrown cannabis. When enough adults are inoculated with the coronavirus vaccine, it will be time to celebrate. It's not just the end of the pandemic, but the beginning of the end of the cannabis prohibition in the United States. So you hear what it says, though, that's the key part. Not just the end of the pandemic, but the beginning of the end of the cannabis prohibition in the United States.
Right.
Why I repeated that is because that goes back to the previous statement about them trying to get in the government
within the government at a federal level, not just
now,
local governments.
What does our government say? Okay, we'll do it, but this is what you got to give us in return.
Oh yeah, they're going to get there.
So what happens? They line their pockets to politicians, and then the politicians will start to do what these corporations want to do. And you're going to see the same type of stuff through. That's where you see with Facebook. Facebook says, "Hey, you know, well, we want to not be regulated by this, or we want I can't really point out a specific thing in my head, but there's going to be a reason that they're saying, well, let's cater to the government. The government says, all right, we'll put some money in our pocket." Or you know what?
mean, yeah.
Facebook could say this: "Hey, we want to be the #1 platform. Can you help us get us out there? Let's figure out a way to censor all these other sites or whatever." You know, Facebook
Like Parler that they shut down, and
but then they say to Facebook, "Yeah, we'll do it, but got to line our pockets."
Yeah.
You know, and this is just assumptions. This isn't provable or anything like that. But I just found that story to be interesting. So.
it is interesting of an
And
article.
if you think that's not necessarily true, it's an article posted by Forbes.
It does seem a bit far-fetched. Like the article and just the idea of it just seems unpractical. But
Well,
like
we'll
you
see
said,
what
it is a
happens.
legitimate
It's a legitimate
article
thing.
and it's a legitimate campaign.
Right. So it's kind of interesting. to
Joints for
see.
jabs. Look it up, guys.
Joints for jabs.
Let you know.
Gee.
But I find it weird though, and I'm just going to backpack on the story a little bit here because when you get your COVID vaccine, even when you complete your second stage, the booster, and nothing changes for you. You still have to wear a mask in public. You still can't have large gatherings. Like nothing changes other than the fact that you have the vaccine. That's the only difference in your life. And that's okay. That's fine that you wanted to go out and get your vaccine. That's okay. But they were saying in the article that it's the people are going to want to get together and celebrate and stuff. But can you really even get together?
Well,
I know in
they're
like
saying
Washington State,
they're using the quote. They're using the what do you call it? The end of the pandemic.
But we're not.
Notice they quoted that.
But if you notice, a lot of the articles coming out though too also state that we still have at least another year of recovery.
Yeah, we'll see.
They're saying at least a full
that's
year.
part of what they're saying, and I mean,
So-
who knows? I mean, they don't really care.
No. Obviously, it's advertising and stuff, and they want to say, "Hey, this is the beginning of an end," or this is the end of something. Come out and contribute, like you said. It caters to the need, but it's just an interesting thing. Like you said, it is a nice little article. So yeah, if you want to do your part in, I won't say profit necessarily, but gain something else out of it other than the vaccine, I guess a little baggie of weed's the way to go.
I guess so. All right.
Not what I expected. Oh gosh, I know where this is going.
Oh yeah, because we're coming up towards the fair.